Do you get many like go Beavs in airports?
Oh,
Wait, yay! Okay, good. I've been giving.
I love
I'm
it.
the Coug of the show, but I always give a go Beavs whenever I see you.
Yeah, and I vice versa. I of course give a
Mhm.
go Cougs forever.
Welcome to Chemical Reaction, the show where we take various chemicals and pour them into other chemicals and see what happens.
That is not what this show is at all.
No?
Nope. Emma,
Okay.
this is what happens when Emma writes the run show. We get Wild Cockatoo Coalition and Chemical Reaction, and there's one other joke that you wrote that I'm forgetting. Maybe it was also
It's the koala one, but we haven't done it
Oh
on
yeah,
air
yeah.
yet. So no spoilers.
Oh my god, you just spoiled it.
Oh, I do this every time. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to broaden our horizons.
Okay,
I'm just
well,
trying to get us out of our boxes.
Consider them broad.
Okay, fine. Sorry. Welcome to Pack in Action. I'm Emma Weightman alongside the fabulous Ashtyn Butuso. We're so happy that all of you are here for Pack in Action and not whatever crazy things I come up with when I've had too much coffee.
Yep.
You're probably watching us on Pac-12 Insider on Amazon Prime or
Samsung TV Plus channel 2392, obviously. Or you might be watching on the Pac-12 Conference YouTube channel, which we say thank you very much to. Please like, comment, subscribe, send to your friends. First things first, housekeeping. If you were in an airport going to Japan from the Bay Area this weekend and someone said go Beavs to you, that was our producer. Let us know because maybe you could be a guest on the show. Also, he says that your kids are adorable. So that's that. That's all the housekeeping we have, folks. Now let's check in on some conference basketball play. A little what's cracking with the conference, if you will. You know what I'm saying? What do we got, Emma?
Oh, well, Washington State men plummeted down to 5th in the conference standings after a very unfortunate loss to Gonzaga. I'm in pain. There were a couple unfortunate calls, a couple turnovers. We've kind of seen those coming, though, with a lot of the ball handlers that we were expecting to see this season still out with injuries. We are broken records on that one. Please, everyone, speedy recoveries. But as we know, basketball moves fast, and there's a lot of season left.
Yeah, for the Lady Beavs, we're kind of hanging in the middle of the standings there, hovering right under USF for the 6th spot. We're 4-2 in the conference, 8-9 overall, 4-1 at home, which is lit. Beavs always show out at legendary Gill Coliseum. I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
But speaking of USF, the team that we just beat, the defense really made a push there. We held the Dons to a scoreless bout for 4 minutes left in the third until there was 4 minutes left in the fourth.
Yeah, I think legally that's an entire quarter.
Legally speaking,
no one checked that.
The math of that is like, okay, yeah, quarter. And we'll have Ashtyn AJ Marotte on to speak about her season a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The Washington State women, who do not prefer to be the Lady Cougs unless it's Klay Thompson saying it, also suffered a loss at the hands of Gonzaga. When will the Bulldogs let me know peace? I don't know. Cougs are 5-2 in conference play. We're 10-8 overall, and our friend Tara Wallach played a big part against Gonzaga, keeping the Cougs heads above water. So
Shout out
I would
Tara.
like to stop. Shout out Tara forever. I would like to stop saying Gonzaga now.
I don't know why that really got me. I will say Gonzaga because the Oregon State men's team are 6th in the conference standings. Yes, blah, 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 whatever. We've had a rough bout the last couple of games, but we face Gonzaga next. And fun fact, the Zags are 0-12 all time against the Beavs. 0-12, Queens. So we're playing Thursday or tonight if you're watching this live. For the first time since 1991. And Emma, we're going to avenge the Cougs, and it's going to be 0-13. Please, for the love of gosh.
Please, nothing would make me happier.
Please, we need.
Yeah, I believe in you 100%.
Thank you.
And we've got a really exciting show lined up this week, as Ashtyn mentioned. Ashtyn, AJ Marotte, is joining us, and WSU head coach Camie Ethridge will be here, so stick around.
Welcome back to Pack in Action. We're so excited to have AJ Marotte joining us. AJ, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on. Let's just get something out of the way here. We are both named Ashtyn, but you choose not to go by it. Do you hate the name Ashtyn?
No, I love it. I think I spell it a fun way too. Like
yeah.
felt that way. And my best friend growing up's name was Ashtyn. So we got really easily, and my parents just gave up correcting everyone and just started calling me AJ.
Wow. Okay.
Fair. But I do love Ashtyn.
Okay. Yeah. You've got a cool, your Instagram handle is cool too. The fact that you are just like, it's just Ashtyn. That's cool.
My dad got that for me when I was in like elementary or something, like before I even had it. So shout out to my dad. He really clutched up there for sure.
That's amazing. That's never
galaxy brain parenting.
Yes.
I was thought about that. Like, he did the same thing for my email too. Like, that's just my email. Like, it's so nice.
Oh my gosh. You could, yeah, if nothing else in life, if you ever find yourself in some hard times, you could sell those for some serious cash.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, if you ever want to own a home.
Yeah, seriously. Well, let's talk basketball. You've seen this team change obviously so much in the last year or so, even less maybe. How have you adapted to that?
I think Scott just prepares us really well for anything. You know, his system is great, and I think all the new people have adapted really well to that. So it hasn't been that big of an issue. But I also I like change. I welcome change, and it's worked out pretty good so far. So I've been really excited about all of it.
You mentioned Scott. I will take any opportunity I can to talk to praise Scott Rueck. But just from a player standpoint, what do you think he brings as a coach?
His best thing is recruiting. He's just such a good people person. Like, he knows who to bring on, and I think he's just really good at talking, and he also backs it up. He's not just a salesman like I know some people think, but like he really backs up his word, and is just an amazing person. I mean, obviously I've been here for 4 years because I want to play for him, and I'm really happy I'm still here.
Has he asked you to take on a leadership role? I mean, I know you have sort of. What has that looked like in the last couple months?
Definitely just leading by example. Obviously, I know his system the best. I've been in it the longest, so just helping out where I can. I think he likes to say at this point in the season, like, he should be doing less talking, and it should be coming from us as a team more. So doing that more and rising up into that role for sure.
And then how about the chemistry of this very new team? How has it been fitting all these new pieces together? Any funny anecdotes about the players that have maybe come from international play or anything like that?
This is a super fun group. We have a lot of international players, so we joke that we're foreign state university.
That's so funny. Me and my husband say the foreign embassy also, just like to ourselves. So that rocks.
It's been super fun. A lot of us are trying to learn Spanish because we have a lot of Spanish speakers. I'm taking a class this term called Latin American music. And Amazing. So I've been talking to a lot of them about like their favorite music and stuff like that. So it's been super fun to like kind of join all of our different cultures and the places we're from together. We joke that we're going to go on a world tour and visit everybody's home. Like, it's been super awesome. This group is super fun.
Yeah, well, you got the name built in there for sure.
Yeah. The team this year has had some ups and downs. The ups are like really awesome ups. Started off a little bit slower, but it seems like, the groove is sort of forming. How are you feeling about your personal play this year?
I feel good about it. Obviously, I'm stepping into a very different role. I feel like in the past few years, I've been more of a role player. So stepping into a bigger role offensively and defensively has been intimidating, but our coaches are great. Having Sid Weeks on the staff now has been huge. Someone who's been in our position, like, it's been super helpful.
Yeah, talk about that. I'm her biggest fan ever, so I'd love to hear about her as a coach.
Well, she's awesome. I've watched film of her for years, and now she's our coach. Like, it was strange at first, but it being her first year of coaching, like, if you step in the gym, you have no idea. Like, she's a huge people person. Like, she just makes it so easy to get to know her. She spent her first couple weeks here, like, going to lunch with each of us, like, one-on-one, and like getting to know all of us. So we all have our own individual relationship with her, and I think that's super special and has just made the transition seamless. And obviously, like, she's had great success here. So knowing that I have someone like who knows what it takes and like has done it really, really well, like, it's super nice to be like, yeah, I'll listen to what she's talking about.
She might know what she's talking about. Where did she take you to lunch?
Where did we go? We went to Wisecracks, but I know it's called Broken Yolk.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That shout out Wisecracks / Broken Yolk. That's a good breakfast spot.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the team's identity at this point? Like, what's the shape of it looking like?
I think in the last few games, we finally realized how fast we can play.
Mm-hmm.
I think the speed's picked up, and a lot of us can play 3 or 4 different positions. I mean, there's been multiple different people playing the point guard. Like, it's just been super fun to see everyone's, because we're all very athletic, and I think having to figure that out where that can go and when it's needed has been a little tough and rough in the beginning, but I think we've finally figured it out. Like last game, Tiara played great, like running up and down the floor for us, and I think that momentum got us going really well. So just trying to do stuff like that more often.
Yeah. What's something that we maybe don't know? Obviously we know about the athleticism, we know about the quickness. What's something even off the court that we don't know about this team that might surprise us?
That you don't know. I feel like Scott talked about early on how we're all kind of underdogs and that we don't really have an ego, and I think that's still evident now that we're all trying to prove ourselves because we've all come from different places. Like for me, example, like not being in this big role, like having to deal with that. So like each and every one of us is having to do that thing where we're stepping into a bigger role that we're not used to, and I think that gives us a little bit of an edge that not everyone has.
Yeah. New roles, new conference. How has that adjustment been like? What's it like playing with a lot of new opponents and new places?
Yeah, it's been super fun. Lots of travel, but I mean, what's new? Nothing's changed there. But it's been super fun to play all these new teams. Obviously, I've been doing the same scouts and watching the same teams for a couple of years, so I think the switch up was fun. Yeah, it's been super fun so far, and I'm excited to keep playing and keep traveling.
Do you get many like go Beavs in airports?
Oh,
yay! Okay, good. I'm the Coug of the show, but I always give a go Beavs whenever I see.
Yeah, and I vice versa. I of course give a go Cougs forever. What's sort of like is there one sort of line of messaging or a mantra or something that you as a team are using to sort of carry your team through the season?
At the beginning of the year, we have a team retreat, and we actually do talk about this, like what do we want our word or phrase to be this year, and ours is trust this year.
Cute.
So again, we talked about how we're all coming from different places and like really putting ourselves out there. Like some of them, some of the people on our team coming from smaller schools, like it was a big deal to come here and like play and see if we were, see if we're able to do this. Like we're all trying to prove to ourselves that we can do this and that we belong here. And so trust was our word. Trusting each other, trusting our coaches, trusting ourselves and what we're capable of doing. So trust is our word.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we trust your opinion on what the season will look like. So what do you think is your ceiling this year? What do you think is going to happen for the Beavs?
I mean, we're trying for that ring.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Every conference game is a war. So
yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? But that's always the goal for sure.
Yeah. Final question: will you consider going by Ashtyn moving forward?
Some people don't even know that's my real name.
I know. We need the people to know.
I know. I don't know. It's really.
We're here to set the record straight.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with Mom. We're calling you Ashtyn. And I have made that joke before on Twitter that I was named after you, which scientifically does not add up, but a good joke nonetheless. Well. Yeah. We appreciate you coming on. We're going to, keep watching intently, cheering for the Beavs. Hope you get a lot more airport go Beavs. Hopefully it's one of us. Maybe we'll be in an airport at the same time.
I'll get those Beavs too.
Thanks for coming on. Thank you so much, AJ. We'll have more Pack in Action when we come back.
Welcome back to Pack in Action. Now, normally, as viewers of the show are accustomed to, I start this interview with something very dorky. I usually am very energetic. It often involves me making the air horn noise with my mouth. But this week, I figured I'd class it up a little bit because our guest today is one of the most iconic coaches, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many others. Head coach of the Washington State women's basketball team, Camie Ethridge. Coach, thank you so much. Our sincerest welcome.
Can't possibly not do the air horn now.
And you got a double one, as only you deserve.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now I feel like we're ready.
Yeah.
Perfect. You are easily one of the most prolific coaches in WSU history. You've been here since 2018. In that time, you've had 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances, a conference championship, landing a preseason AP ranking for the 2023-24 season. You shatter all the ceilings. When do you sleep?
Yeah, well, don't much during the season. It just feels like it's a long grind, but building this thing up wasn't the easiest thing in the world. I think I came in here thinking, oh, no problem. Wanted the challenge of competing against some of the best coaches in the game. And then you just get into the process of trying to just get better every single day. So we fortunately got some great players in here and started turning this program around, and now feel like we're kind of starting over again after losing, a big batch of seniors and bringing in some new players. But it's an awesome job. It's an awesome situation, and got great players and great kids and great support around here.
Yeah. Speaking of players, do you have any updates on Charlotte Abraham? I'm crossing my fingers.
I think that must have helped and worked, but it's good news for us. So I think she's going to be maybe out 2 weeks, but all is good with the ACL, which is everybody's worry in women's basketball, and looks pretty good right now. A little painful still, and just needs a little time to get her strength back and movement, and then get back on the court. But it's great news for us.
Oh, that's great. So speaking of your players, also, we had Tara on last week. Such a delight. Can you just speak to her growth and how she's embraced being a leader on this team?
Well, first off, I mean, I'm shocked after every game, Riley, our SID, sends over like the new history and the record book and what she's doing after this game. Now she's 8th and 7th and 6th, and she's just dominating this year and changing us, like her block shots, her minutes played, how many games she's played in. I mean, she has, it's just true to form. As a senior, she is really just playing with urgency, playing with poise, is now a complete player. And then on top of that, she's a great leader. I mean, it's hard to be the only senior and be trying to lead 7 new players into your program. And she's doing it, with confidence. She's doing it with, sometimes with a stern voice. She's even got a stern voice, And
she mentioned she was working on that with you.
Yeah. Like she sat in here and I was like, do you need me to help you? There's a little bit of a conflict. And she was like, no, I got it. I know exactly what I'm going to say. And I don't care if they don't like it. And it's just like, exactly. She knows what we want in our program. She knows what we represent. She knows what this place stands for. And she's expecting the young players to be that for her in her senior year.
She mentioned also that those new players are international. The roster is very international. How did that become your recruiting focus?
Yeah, I don't know that we ever intended. When we got here, we had players from all sorts of Bulgaria, and we had some players that I've never been and never even thought we would ever recruit some places, and because we had known Australia a little bit and New Zealand a little bit, but now we really are completely and totally international, from Taiwan to Estonia and all the places in between. So, I think we're remote. I don't have to surprise y'all with that. We're remote. I don't think we're the easiest place to get to. I don't think we're the sexy choice for a lot of young players that are wanting to come. We weren't a winning program. So, we honestly picked up the phone and called club coaches in California when we got the job. And they were like, we haven't heard from Washington State in like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And that was because now they wanted to help us with recruits, but they didn't want to give us their top 5 recruits. They wanted to give us the kids that never played.
Sure.
And they're not good enough. We've got to sign players that are good enough for anybody in the country. We got to sign the best players in the state of Washington. Yeah. We got to do our best at getting really good players from the surrounding states. But if we can't draw and attract our kinds of kids, talented, competitive, got a lot of potential, people that are about the things we're about, gritty and tough. if we can't attract those people, then we need to go wherever we can go to attract them. And we've been really fortunate to find some great competitors, great people, great players all over the world. And they're easy to coach. They come in here, they love the university experience. They love coming to America. Like, imagine that. And you know, sometimes Americans can be a little entitled and wanting things. And these guys are so grateful for everything they get. And then they want to get involved with everything going on campus. So they really just are living the life of the university student, and at the same time, you know, experiencing big time basketball. Great facilities, great instruction, great support people. So it's been really easy to coach that kind of person and player. And, you know, I don't think we'll always be completely this internationally heavy, but I'm not afraid if we are, because I love the kids that we're getting, and I love the Americans we're getting too.
Yeah. So this episode so far, we had AJ Marotte on from Oregon State. Her first name is Ashtyn. We're kind of on a first name kick lately. I know Camie is technically a nickname. So how did you're Mary Camille, right?
I am.
Yeah. Are you a fan of it or not so much?
Really? My parents I don't understand. It's a long story, but they still can't explain to me what happened. There were 4 children, and the oldest was Robert Kirk, and that's with a K, and he went, middle names was what they intended everybody to go by. Oh. So he was Kirk, and then there was Courtney K, and that was with a KA, and she ended up getting the nickname of just KK. And then there was Mandy Chris with the K, which is kind of strange. Oh. So Chris with the K. And then I came along, Mary Camille with the C. And I was the only one that didn't have a K. And so I have no idea that their thinking was kind of crazy, but somehow I think my brother or sibling couldn't say Camille and came up with Camie or something like that. And Camie,
I was going to say, you're almost the original Kardashians in a way.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never been told that before, but what a compliment.
What a comparison.
All right. I would think
comparison with a C.
Yeah. But I do, Camie fits me a little bit better than Mary Camille. And none of that mattered until 9/11, when we really had to show IDs, and now everything has to match. So it makes it's a little bit more difficult now to explain. I'm really Camie, but also Mary Camille.
Yeah.
It's a long story. Sorry about that.
We don't care what your name is. We're going to support no matter what. We're going to, you know, be screaming Camie and Mary and all kinds of things in our living room.
I have the 2 players just recently. In fact, one of the coaches here on campus, the rowing coach, she asked my Ann McCoy one day, she was like, it's so funny that they call Camie Coachy. Why do they call her Coachy? And as in Coachy, like I-E or Y, like she thought that's so cool that they call her Coachy. And Ann looked at her and went, it's Coach E. They call her Coach E. And the same thing, I just saw an ex-player that played for us at Northern Colorado, and her husband, she just recently got married. He was like, why do you call her Coachy? That's so weird. Why do you call her? And she was like, it's Coach E. So you can call me Coachy. Coachy too, I guess.
Anything goes.
Yeah. It always...
Maybe we'll start like a diction class here pretty soon.
Yeah, seriously.
Awesome. Well, Coach E, thank you so much for your time. We are so excited to have you on, and good luck down in San Francisco.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. It's been fun. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. That was so fun with Coachy.
So awesome. Yeah,
who knew?
Love her.
Love that.
You, Coachy.
And that about brings us to the end of another episode of Pac in Action.
That's all we got, folks.
That's all we got, folks.
That's that.
Can you believe it? I can't. You can find us on all social platforms. We're Pac in Action Show, because legally this is a show, not a podcast. And we'll see you next week when we're Pac in Action.